Can y'all see me? Let's get some more light. Goddamn battery's dying, you guys. Hold on. All right, you guys, I'm back. I did record a few videos with that battery and I didn't realize. If y'all have a Canon camera, specifically the Canon G7X Mark II is the one that I have, child, you better have a few batteries on deck, especially if you like to talk like I talk. Anyway, you guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title, this video is going to be one of the videos I call favorite fun, you know, getting to know each other type of videos. This particular tag was created by our lovely sis, Gorgeousonemink. She created this tag and she basically said anybody that wants to do the tag, feel free. And back in the day, I used to do every tag. I loved doing tags. So I'm using my camera to record. I have my phone, and thank you, Gorgeousonemink, Natalie, for actually putting the questions in your description bar, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to write down every question, but she got the questions in the description bar. So I actually have not really looked over any of these questions, so all of my answers are going to be off the dome, so I'm going to try not to do too much and if I do this, you know, annoying, I'll edit it out. But let's get right to it. So question number 1, she wrote, if you could go back in your past and change anything, a choice, a moment, etc., what would it be? So actually, when I was listening to her tag, I was kind of thinking in my mind, like, what would I change in my past? And I can't really think of anything like off the top of my head, because I do feel like everything that has happened in my life has shaped me to be the person who I am, whether it was good, whether it was bad. I don't know, you guys. I really don't feel like there's anything that I would change as it pertains to me. I think I would change other people's decisions that affected me, but me specifically, I think my path was meant to be the way that it was, and I'm okay with that, if that makes sense. All right, number 2 is, do you have a special gift or talent that not many people know about? Name one. Okay, so I have this really weird thing where I can see faces in just about anything. So there is a name for it. When I edit this video, I will look it up, but it is a thing. And I remember being able to do this as a child, and I can clearly see faces, eyes, nose, shape of a face, lips, and just about anything, right? It's weird, like you see it in like awkward shapes or like tiles or paintings and things like that. I can actually see a face, and I probably could draw it out if I had like pen and paper with me. It's weird, but I've had this skill from a very young age, and it's pretty cool. I mean, I didn't know that it was an actual thing until I looked it up, and it is an actual name for it, and I actually can do this, and I actually have this gift where I can actually make out faces and weird objects. Like, it's crazy. I know it sounds a little crazy. Oh man. All right, so let's go to number, pause her video. Number 3, are there any insecurities you wish to change about yourself? Let's see. I would say that sometimes I feel like I need to just be quiet, because I feel like maybe what I would say that would be coming from a good place, people might take it the wrong way. So that actually causes an insecurity for me, because I don't know, like, people ask me for advice a lot of times, and I know this is gonna sound like messed up, but this is like the God's honest truth. And sometimes I'm insecure about telling them my true answer or opinion or feelings because I don't want to offend anyone, and sometimes the truth bothers people. Also, I used to have an insecurity about my thumbs. I really don't anymore, but my thumbs are so tiny. Do you see how small? Wait, let me try to, so the camera won't focus on my face. Do you see how small my thumbs? Don't those look like little, I don't want to use the wrong words on the tube and then they go ban my video, but did you see how small my thumb is? My hands in general are really tiny. So are my feet. My mom is not a little person and neither is my dad. But I used to have insecurities about my thumbs, like, because people used to always be like, what happens to your thumbs? Like, did your thumbs get cut off? And I'd be like, no, this is the way that I'm born. And back in the days, I used to get my nails done more often because it would elongate my fingers, because my fingers are super small. But I'm very like tiny, like a petite. I'm thick. Okay, your girl is thick, but I'm small. Like, I have a very small frame. So yeah, I got these thumbs and these toes, these feet, these little people hands and little people feet from my mom. So thanks, Mom. And I definitely used to be insecure about the thumbs, but not so much now. And it says, okay, wait, are there any insecurities you wish to change about yourself? It does change about yourself. I don't necessarily think that now, I don't care. But let me tell you, when I was, that's your dog nephew, when I was insecure about the thumbs, I definitely probably would have wished I could have changed them. Sorry guys. All right, so let's move on. So number 4, what are your hobbies that not many people see you do but you love? Read, probably. I also like to do crafts. I mean, I used to talk about my crafting, and I did a lot of it when I first started YouTube. Then I kind of got away from that and ended up in other communities of YouTube. But I do love to read. I love to sometimes just lock myself in a room or go outside with like a stack of books, a stack of magazines. I make myself a big cup of, you know, something to drink, have a little snack, few snacks, and I just love to immerse myself in whatever I'm reading, you know, or enjoying for the day. I don't really talk about it. I don't really share it. I think I've shared it a few times, but it is definitely something that is a hobby that could be considered hidden because I don't really talk about it that much. Okay, number 5. What is your comfort zone? Where are you most comfortable? Where are you most comfortable, or what makes you most comfortable? So again, I would have to say probably somewhere alone, with a drink. Not it doesn't have to be alcoholic. I'm really not that much of a drinker. I'm a social drinker more so than anything. But I love to just be in my own space, doing the things that I love to do. It makes me super comfortable. It helps me relax. It helps my mind get back to a place where, you know, I can think clearly. And I'm so appreciative to have my own space to do that. You know, like now we're in the living room. We're still in the living room, and it definitely has taken a toll on me to not have like my own creative space or relaxation space where I can close the door and kind of just be to myself, whatever I want to do. If I want to lay down and watch Netflix for hours, if I want to read, if I want to cut out, you know, clippings in a magazine, if I want to do some crafting, whatever the heck I want to do, I appreciate being in my own space. That is definitely where my comfort zone is at, and it helps recharge and reset me. So even when I didn't have my own space, just the fact that when I had alone time, like when my husband wasn't home, and I could just be in the house by myself and just do what I want to do, I think it is so important for all of us, especially if you're in a relationship. whatever type of relationship, you need to have your own time. You need to have your own hobbies and things that you like to do that make you happy, that make you comfortable, that helps you reset. It is so important. And you don't necessarily have to have a whole room to yourself, but if you can just, you could go to the park, you could go to the library, you could go to Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, whatever, wherever it is where you can just be to yourself, and you want to pull your laptop out, your iPad, put your headphones on, take a walk. My opinion, my personal opinion, is that it's just also very important to have your own time to yourself, to reflect on your own thoughts, your own feelings. It's very helpful for your mental health. Okay, number 6, name 3 things people don't know about you. Okay, let's see. So I am 38% Finnish, meaning my bloodline is 38% from Finland. I found that out myself not too long ago. My great grandmother is Native American and Caucasian. What else? Let's see. I can do this. But only with this hand, not with this hand. I haven't been able to master. Skills! Number 7, is there anything in your life that traumatized you for the rest of your life? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. You guys already know what I'm gonna say, because if you've been watching, it is something that I have been dealing with since it has happened, and that is the death of my younger brother. I do believe that I was, yeah, definitely was vlogging, and it was when I lived in Riverdale when I found out that my younger brother had passed away, and it traumatized me then, and it's still traumatic. It's still traumatic. I have learned to cope, you know, with him not being on this earth anymore. I have other siblings, but I was really close to my younger brother. We actually grew up together. My other siblings, I didn't grow up with them. So, you know, when you have siblings that are, you don't share the same parents, both parents, sometimes you don't grow up in the same household, and that was definitely my situation. I do have other siblings, but I'm not as close to them as I was to my younger brother, because we grew up together in the same household. So it traumatized me for the rest of my life, and it's something that I think, I apologize, you guys. Chunky, you know, when I come home, he hasn't seen me all day. I don't like to put him back into his play area once I'm home, even if I'm filming, because I just think it's unfair. He's gone to the bathroom. He has eaten. He has pulled out every last one of his toys. And this, I still get this because he wants my attention. So, yeah, that was definitely something that has traumatized me. It's been a few years now, but when I tell you, anybody who has dealt with loss in their life, and especially someone as close as a sibling or maybe a parent or something like that, you know that it never goes away. And anything can trigger you, trigger your emotions. Sometimes I'm in the car, any Michael Jackson song that comes on, it definitely triggers my emotion, because my brother totally loved Michael Jackson. He could do every dance move. You know, I spoke about this before on my channel. My brother and I used to watch this movie Moonwalker over and over and over again. I know I can repeat that movie in my head from the beginning to the end, because we watched it so much. And you know, it was something that I think was the most traumatic thing. And I've been through some traumatic things, but that was the most traumatic thing that ever happened to me. And the way I actually found out that he had passed was, I was actually on my way home from work. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm just trying to pull up the questions again. On my way home from work, and I had got the phone call, and I passed out in the street because I was in, you know, such disbelief that this was true. And you know, once I made it home, I passed out again. Like, I just collapsed into my apartment. We hadn't bought a house yet, and you know, my husband, it took a while for me to even be able to speak. I was just like traumatized. So yeah, that would have to be the most traumatizing thing for me. Number 8, what are you afraid of? So for me, I would have to say I'm afraid of not accomplishing everything that I want to accomplish before my number is called. So I don't want to say that I am an overachiever, but I really have worked hard in this life to not be a statistic. I've worked really hard to change, I want to say, the narrative in my family. And I don't get all into all the details of my family, good or bad, because like I said, it's not only my story to tell, and it's not only my information when I expose certain things. It's not just me who gets exposed. So I don't tell y'all every little single thing. Now, don't get me wrong, I have very successful people in my family. I have rich people in my family. We have generational wealth in my family. You know, I got a few millionaires over there. Yes, but there are also some trash ass people in my family who have affected my life and other people's lives, and has caused, you know, generational issues. And for me, I just knew from a very young age that I would be better. Now, that's not cocky, that's just something that I set out to do for myself. And I don't know whether it's good or bad, you know, to be honest with you, because I made a lot of decisions in my life to get ahead, you know, and my goal was never to get stuck in one particular area. You know, my goal was to be able to take care of myself independently without government assistance, asking for a handout, you know, robbing Peter to pay Paul. Like, I never wanted that for myself. And again, people take some of the things that I say wrong and judgy. It happens to me all the time, has happened since the day I started YouTube, child. Like, y'all need to get out y'all feelings, because this is about me and not about you. When I say all of that to say, it's what I saw. And when you see certain people, you know, that you grew up with or that was supposed to be leaders in your family, and they did not give you the necessary blueprint, and I'm not talking about my mom and dad either, I'm just talking about certain people that I looked up to at some point as my elders, you know, like just being lost in the sauce, child, and basically passing those things down to their children and their children to their children. And it's like, when do we break the cycle? When do we say, like, oh, we're going to be better, we're not going to end up in the same situations, we're not going to end up poor and, you know, having to depend on people to help us for the rest of our lives? Like, I don't want to live like that. I'm sorry, I don't. I cannot be a whole grown-up. I'm 41 years old. I don't know why I keep saying that so much in my videos now, but it is what it is. And I feel like at my age, at least, like, you should have some stability. You know what I mean? Like, you should have some stability. You should have something to fall back on. You should have some emergency money. You should have, you know, and it's okay if you don't, but you better have some sort of plan, especially people that, I always say this, especially people that have children, multiple children. Like, what is your plan for your kids for the future? Or, you know, people that have elderly parents, do you have a place to take care of your parents if they get sick? We don't think about these things, you know. We don't think about the generational wealth. We only think about the right now. And I think that that's a discussion that needs to be had more and more and more and more. I think that it's trendy now, again, you know, people wanting to, everybody's talking about generational wealth, generational wealth, generational wealth. But what are we doing to create the generational wealth? What are you sacrificing? What are you leaving alone to be able to pay off your debts, pay off, you know, your kids' college loans and things like that. Are your kids even going to college? Like, are you setting your kids up, or are your kids just getting a job, you know, just like everybody else, to make minimum wage for what? Is that fine? Yeah, sure, it's fine, but wouldn't we want more? Wouldn't we want more for, if that's not what you have, wouldn't you want that for your kids? Wouldn't you want that for any of the younger people in your family? So what I'm afraid of is definitely, like I said, not reaching all of my goals. I have checked off a lot of goals on my bucket list, but I still have a ways to go. I am still struggling with some things, you guys. Like I said, I don't share every little thing on here. I'm not trying to make this tag super long, but you know, I am still trying to check some boxes off on my own personal goal list. But I think that for me, at least, I do everything in my power to accomplish what I need to accomplish. I don't just say, oh, this is what I want for my life, and then don't do the work. I do the work. I do the work. I sacrifice. I cry. You know, I figure out what type of plan do I need to get to where I need to be. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I never stop trying. And I set out to get done what needs to get done. Okay, so that's what I'm afraid of, not being able to accomplish all the things I want to accomplish before I kick the bucket. Number 9, what are your challenges in life? So right now, child, okay, if we keep this pretty current. Right now my challenge is in New York, everything is just crazy. Okay, with the pan going on, I feel like I cannot go anywhere. I cannot do anything without chaos. We have so much rules being put in place at my place of employment, where I frolic. Y'all know I frolic in these New York streets. You have people that do not care anything about these rules, who are just, you know, saying everybody, and it affects me. It affects me. It affects my life. It affects my place of employment. It affects where I go. It affects what I do. It's a challenge. It definitely is a challenge right now in my office. When I'm used to working with a staff of about 15 to 20 people, let's say we down to 3 or 4 people. Somebody has to pick up the slack. Okay, and the stuff that I do is tedious. The job that I do is tedious. There's a lot of things that cannot be left undone, you know. So when you don't have the staff to perform certain tasks and things that needs to be done, it's a challenge. And right now it is challenging. It is challenging, but I'm trying to keep positive, look forward, and hope for the best, because honey. All right, number 10, is there anything a person has said or done that made you decide to make a life change? I will say it'll piggyback off of what I said earlier. There were certain things that I saw as a young adult growing up that changed my trajectory on life. Like, I just knew that for me, I was not going to make certain mistakes that I saw, because I wanted better for my life. And like I said, I can't tell you the decisions that I made were all right or wrong. I don't know. I'm still living. You know, my life is still progressing, and things are still unfolding for me. So I can't say whether they were right or wrong, but I will tell you that there were definitely people that have come into my life, good and bad, and I have seen things good and bad that made me definitely change some things around. You know, I've had some really good people in my life that mentored me and, you know, changed my outlook on certain things, and that have kept me motivated to push forward and to you know, make my life better, or at least push me in a direction where I could do my own, you know, my own falling and getting back up, and then learning the lesson to realize where I needed to be. Okay, so that is it. That concludes my tag done by our girl Gorgeousonemink. Thank you so much for doing this tag. This was a very deep tag, and the title of the tag is Let's Dig Deeper. So that was definitely deep. So you guys, please feel free to do this tag, but if you do, just make sure you give Gorgeous One Mink her credit. I will leave her channel in the description box or the comments, and if I forget, please, Gorgeous One Mink, leave your information in the comment section. I know you always comment, so thank you so much. So you guys, please look for her in the comment section if I forget to tag her channel in the comment. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will leave the questions in the description box as well, so you don't have to go looking for them if you choose to do this tag. I will see you guys in my next video.